Hello guys, and finally, we're back with a new Detective Conan video, and today we present impressions and analysis of chapter 1148, titled Visitors from Chaos. Of course, the editor says, what can be inferred from the left letters is, it is no longer possible, it is the end. And the sentence honestly means it is a hint, let's say a hint to Itakura's message. The original idea of this case refers and alludes more to Itakura's case and Itakura's flashback and his notes. The narrator continues to say in this chapter that Camel is once again involved in the case of these two. Here, the police are sitting and starting the investigation, focusing on the deceased who was engaged in apartment 102 of the building. His name is Shoka Tenjo, 32 years old. His job is a game writer, and they explain the cause of death and everything. Here, the Inspector Megure determines that the time of death was approximately between 1.5 to 2 hours before the current time. Meaning, from the current time, 1.5 to 2 hours earlier, the victim died. The victim passed away. And it continues here that the victims, or the people who discovered the body, were Conan, Kogoro, and Conan. I didn't understand this sentence. He said, I will investigate the murder case that happened in the other apartment, so I will leave this investigation to you. The problem is that the murder case in the other apartment has already been solved, meaning Conan and Andosan solved it, not Nevin. Does this mean another murder happened at the same time? Meaning with this murder, it becomes 3 murders in one hotel, in one place. Or maybe coincidence played the role. Of the important thing here is that he asks Chiba to continue the investigation in this case. He starts telling the same silly joke of his. He said, what a child you are, always coincidentally around murder cases. He says to him, just by coincidence. And by the way, this is the second case today. I feel Conan's ability is growing and his contract with death is increasing. So if one day you see a similar person and a crime happens, you wouldn't want to miss following the channel. The important thing here is to ask and say to him, won't you tell these two how you discovered the body? And here he started telling them the story of how they were sitting in the destroyed settlement. This is his neighbor on the right, this is his neighbor on the left, one in apartment 101 and the Korean in apartment 103. They called the owner and found the body here, and look here, he told them because I saw the victim's foot dangling or floating in the air below the clothes hanging on the clothesline, so I broke the door forcefully. We have found this hanged here in the picture and saw how he started asking when the sound inflation began. So one gave him a time of 1.5 hours ago, the other about 2 hours ago. So maybe he turned on the noise to hide his voice when he hanged himself. The possibility of suicide, and here they want to confirm it's a suicide. He left a suicide note. But this suicide note, which was evidence proving that Ishikawa-san committed suicide, has now become evidence incriminating the criminal and can be used against Detective Conan. Because this note was a full-page note written by Ishikawa-san, and the criminal deleted some sentences and words because, of course, he used erasable ink. Therefore, he erased the words, and the sentence could no longer be the end. This, guys, reminds us of something else that happened in the detective story. The idea here is that they put the note back in the freezer and the sentence returned to its full form. I played this game for 3 days. Isn't it a challenging game? I think this is the end for the factory. This is the real text. So he is writing a script for a new game he created. It was written by Mr. Shikawa-san. Look, if we have here a game creator, this saving Itakura, the game maker, the message that was with Shikawa-san, the complete message. I played this game for 3 days. The criminal turned it into something that can no longer be finalized when we filled in the blanks. The same idea. The notes, when we filled in the blanks, we got the real sentence. We obtained the real text. Thus, and the writer here is responding to us with a case. And it seems indeed that behind this case, there is a shocking revelation related to a case that will be uncovered. The police people say that this is an impossible crime. Any murder in a locked room. And since it's a murder in a locked room, I asked the two people to tell them their alibi. And see here why. Because he brought everything to the unit. So there's his disguise. He said to him, shouldn't you also ask about his alibi? He argued with Shikawa-san. The connection before, that I wanted to explain to him to let you know that they said it was just a routine procedure. So he asked them if he could make a call before that. They told him no, this is definitely not possible, so he wouldn't make up an excuse for his absence with the other party. So here they were afraid he would make a call to someone to agree on an excuse for the absence. Look at Corey's move. It's a sneaky move, and it seems he really was the one who dragged Aunt Dusan to the victim's room to frame him for the accusation, or at least to ensure that there is someone else who can share the blame with him. But let's see how he is making some dangerous conclusions at the same time. I mean, look at the conversation between Jodie and how she tells him that he can't contact Camel because he went to buy a new phone since his old one broke. Therefore, he left the old phone here because it no longer works with GPS. And the store employee sees the contents of one of their phones from the FBI and asks her if she knows the store. She told him it's in a store on his jogging route, so she will track the source of his jogging or the jogging he is doing currently. And here you will find, as we said, a gathering of police, a meeting of many police officers. And hey, for sure, she will participate in the events. She will be the one to kidnap Jodie instead of Andre Camel. Here he says a dangerous sentence, and every time he says this sentence, it seems a disaster will happen. As he said it in the Sidin arc, he said it now. So take it, Mr. Jodie, as I have a bad feeling, and I hope you don't have a bad feeling. Anyway, Ayumi continues on how he was lucky and participated in a case and knew how to solve the case. Haibara apologizes to them for not participating in the case due to illness. And here, Yumi and the children are sitting, helping her, but suddenly Haibara says, yes, I have completely recovered. Focus with me on how her heart raced and she became terrified. Here, it's impossible. Why did she hit right, hit left? And it seems that the aura of this person is someone Haibara knows, someone Haibara recognizes and fears even more than her fear from behind. Maybe she met them when she was Sherry. Maybe she realized it when she saw her. This is okay, meaning maybe Jin, by the motto, means characters that Haibara knows. Haibara recognizes their status, recognizes their identity. It might be a matter, it might be an idea, meaning it's possible. The important thing is, he continues here, the video players say, didn't I tell you about it before? An hour and a half to 2 hours ago, I was slave streaming while playing a game. And Corey also says, I was slave streaming while playing a game. He says there were about 500 people watching this stream, and his followers converted. I was clearly interacting with their responses. Their responses were like, wow, wow, excellent, amazing, awesome, okay, meaning he was saying peace be upon you while singing with someone. So I told you there's a way he can adjust his PC so that the game is displayed and played very normally. And as long as the followers are writing in the comments, he responds to them verbally. Why? Because this game is just a recording. Yeah, he recorded it and broadcasted it live, interacting with people as if it were a real live stream, as if he were truly engaging with them. Meanwhile, the other person playing the idols game, the girls game, is supposed to show his face. Even if he doesn't, he is making difficult choices. This girl is supposed to have her followers suggest requests to her. So sometimes he might hesitate and ask the followers, what do you think if someone donates and we choose the second option? Here, it's impossible for him to fake choosing a game like this and fake his crime. He fakes the method of killing, fakes his gameplay, unless he agrees with someone else to fulfill this request here. Yes, Sheep asks and says to him, and now, Mr. Ando, what were you doing at the time of the crime from an hour and a half to 2 hours ago? And here, how? He told them, I was at the phone store 3 hours ago to buy a new phone, and after that, I hurried in this area and then met those boys during that time. Now, when someone saw Ando-san, Conan says, yeah, I think this happened about 2 hours ago. If it happened about 2 hours ago and the crime occurred between an hour and a half to 2 hours ago, it means Ando-san should be free. But we understand the stupid mistake that fell on the police in this case. Yeah, how come they keep saying that since then, there was always someone with me? Then Shiratori says, but you are the only one without an alibi at the time of the crime. How come I didn't understand that 2 hours ago he was with Conan? The crime happened from an hour and a half to 2 hours ago. Here, he was supposed to be with you during the previous crime.
I mean the West.
The big one, sitting there putting nonsense in the class. I didn't understand, you keep saying, and it seems you argued with the victim before. Tell her, yes, he imagined that I bothered him with the hat I happened to wear that day. I mean, that's not a reason to lead you to kill someone. You say in the same anime for an alibi. No, it is as follows.
But one of them is suspicious.
And however, one of them committed a murder while broadcasting a live game. Here, a member of the black organization speaks and asks, what should we do, Ramsan? Should we resume the jamming? So here, seek an hero or call him whatever you like, but look at the intelligence. Look at the genius and the incredible deductive ability he demonstrated in this chapter. And they said, no, wait, if we disrupt now, it will arouse the police's suspicion. The member of the black organization is afraid. He said, yeah, but if he manages to communicate with the V in Wakita, there is no fear of that as he is a suspect. The phone he currently has is a new model that was released just 2 days ago, and since he hasn't received any calls yet, he must have just signed the contract. He won't be able to contact anyone until he is released when the case is resolved. Then a frame appears behind Nuri and says, it's time for our hunt. Yanasen and to even though look at this frame, you say to me, okay, it means he confirms he is Ram. But there is an idea that they both, Ram and the other, could be speaking at the same time. I don't know, Mr. Habdia. You say to me this is bad, but the idea is possible. In addition, in the end, if he is Ram, that's great. Things are very good. I mean, the police said they asked the followers and confirmed that the live broadcast was indeed continuous. They didn't stop talking for a single moment. And here, see how he started observing. He told you on the carpet near the bed, traces of the pull-up bar base, which is here where we found the character or the victim strangled. He continues. The perpetrator went to the trouble of moving it next to the audio-visual equipment shelf for some reason, even though if the victim was hanged there, it would be directly visible from the entrance. It seems that, look at when the music was activated. The music was activated when the perpetrator fell and the sound was triggered. Ah, okay. So if you hit the idea, how? If you look at the one hanging here, the perpetrator left the victim in a certain position so that when he falls, when his feet fall and he gets strangled here and dies, the speaker should fall, meaning the music will start, meaning the music will rise. Hey, it means he might have put him to sleep and hanged him while he was asleep, then played the music or songs at the highest volume. He placed the headphones and positioned the victim so that when he wakes up, he will fall from the top and choke, causing the headphones to fall and the sound to start. The sound of the music will cover the sound of Shikawa-san's dying here. So how was this the trick of the perpetrator? Or for example, why here? Because after Conan discovered a piece of a chain. So maybe this chain is connected to the headphones, and with the same motion, it pulls the sound on, meaning the sound was on from the beginning and the crime happened 2 hours ago. Okay, let's say the sound started 45 minutes before the hour. Honestly, he called Conan. Come! Conan went and asked him, what's the matter? And he said, please look at this line in front of the house. Don't you find it strange? Conan says, I understand. So that's how the mystery of the connected room was solved. The culprit is that person looking at Kuritobe here. Hey, okay, but how will I tell them this conclusion? Camille-san cannot take the role of the detective since he is a suspect. And this is also one of Aoyama's blunders. Because we've seen Moriko Kuro several times being the suspect and the one who solves the case. So why stop now with Camille Aoyama? No, did you see how he was rambling? This is one of Aoyama's ramblings. Conan continues, saying that putting one of those 3 detectives to sleep to present the conclusions is a big risk, and this trick cannot be explained unless I add my notes to the narrative since I was there too. This means there is something the criminal did at the moment they were there. So Conan has to explain because he was present with the suspect and how they were standing in front of the house. And he tells him what the line is, how he is provoking him to intervene quickly or to hurry in informing the investigators about this matter to solve the case. And here he is waiting for in the legendary Conan movement. And here we notice this moment when he closed his left eye. This might actually be a polishing from Aoyama. Guys,
Enough with the nonsense. Enough with the assumptions. Enough with the conclusions. He's the real Ram. And here, if he said if there was a way to distract, at least he would solve this case. And glory be to God. I mean, if he asked for a miracle, his real body would return. Why? Because Aoyama said, at your service. And the beautiful lady appears and says to him, amazing, your voice, my brother, if I had heard it before. The crazy girl says to him, have we met before, I wonder? Oh, Mr. Sushi Chef, the crazy look of Wakasa Rumi. And Aoyama concludes by saying, fate does not care about the place. Fate brings you together, brings you all together. Akinori and Waka, fate brings you all together. But Akinori, fate did not bring you together. Look, the writer, when he says fate does not care about the place, means that fate here was Aoyama and fate here. It was an intervention from someone of higher rank, higher status than everyone present here. It could be from the Oka family. It could be a member of the organization. It could be James Black. Consider all assumptions except telling me that fate did all of this. It means that apparently in the story, there is someone whose hidden hand intervened to bring all these people together in one place. Hopefully, the next segment will reveal and explain how this meeting came to be and how it happened. It's true that I don't have evidence of who or what did all this, but I have an idea of how it all happened. I mean, the shocking meeting, the one that followed or was considered luck, which I now consider, or the writer considers fate, which was considered a coincidence, which I considered a fateful meeting. So why are they all talking? Because that's what they think, that's their perception. But the will of the traitors and spies is above all wills in the story of the anime Detective Conan. Honestly, this is the point that everyone in the leak section said, oh Baron, this is confirmation that I heard. But look, she said, have we met before, I wonder? It could be that she takes both ideas. Either she or these people all concluded, if he is indeed the real Ramel who participated in the events in 17 years ago. Therefore, necessarily, she must have heard his voice when she was hiding in the room the first time. Not the time when he shocked her and hid her. No, the first time he was standing by the well and she was inside. So the idea that she heard his voice or didn't hear it is uncertain. Do you understand me? So the problem here is that she might have heard Ram's voice at that time. She might not have heard it because she was inside hiding. Meanwhile, he went outside and said 2 sentences. Ram said them and closed the door. It's that they had met before, but there is also another assumption. There is another hypothesis. There is another idea before she spoke with someone else. I met him before. We met. She met with him. It's Tomo. Take it as you take it. The idea, the beginning of the idea is crazy, but still stands. If you are going to put the idea that he wants to deceive you, with these chapters, you will certainly go to the second conclusion. But if you put in your mind or in your brain while reading the chapter that he only wants to reveal the truth, this is just additional confirmation that he is the real Ram. And these are most of the ideas. Please write in the comments your opinion about the identity of the criminal who did all this. Is it really Kuri or Toby? Also, please share your opinions and suggestions with me. What is the shocking revelation that Aoyama will present about the program, about any Itakura? What shocking need will be revealed? Please give me your assumptions and hypotheses as well. And finally, do you really think that Aoyama wants to deceive us with this frame? Do you think he wants to deceive us with the last frames or not? And who is the person she met? Well, how is it that Aoyama in the chapter, yes, the chapter was really amazing. It happened in chapter 128. But throughout the chapter, it presented us with questions. Wow. So chapter 129 will be fantastic. And it has not yet been proven that chapter 129 is the end of this series. You know, Aoyama usually gives you a case chapter, an investigation chapter, and an episode chapter. And then take a break. For now, there is no news. There is nothing. Aoyama might continue in this crazy series, and we hope he continues, although we wish he would take a break because we have a lot of milking clips. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll meet in an upcoming clip, God willing.